Hello students, today in this session of social, we are going to start with a new chapter. As in the previous session, we have completed natural disaster. So today in this session, we are going to start with effects of British rule in India. Now, we have learned about how they came to India, for what purpose they came to India, for trading purpose Britishers came to India. That we have learned slowly how they became rulers. That we have learned, right, with different policies, by using different policies, by implementing different policies. What they became rulers in India. Now in this session we are going to learn about British rule in India. Effects, what were the effects, right? Bad effects, adverse effects, that we are going to learn. Now until 18th century, the production techniques of India, the industries and organization of trade and commerce were unmatched. Unmatched means it was very good, right? It was very good. Okay. Now India, but slowly after Britishers came to India and after they started ruling in India, slowly the condition of India, economically the condition of India became poor. So what happened? Economically poor. Okay, so the people, the kings of India became economically poor. And after that, if the state or if the place is economically poor, there is no proper administration, right? So there was no proper administration. Because of different policies, the army representatives, the governor representatives, all were Britishers, right? So all the representatives were Britishers, and that is why the condition became adverse, right? The condition became bad. Okay. Now students, our Indian products, our Indian commodities, our Indian goods were very famous in European market, right? So in the same way, the raw material, right? Now students, what is raw material? For example, if you want to make ice cream, right? What things you'll require? You'll require milk, you'll require sugar, right? You'll require flavor, right? Whatever flavor you want for ice cream, right? So these things you'll require, right? So these things are what? Raw material that you require to make ice cream. After you make ice cream, and if your process is done, right, and if you can eat that, then that is what finished goods. But raw material is the thing that required, right, for what? For production, right? Now we can get many raw materials around us, right? Depends on the product that we are making. So that is what? Raw material. So the raw material, Indian people used to supply raw material to England and English market, right? But slowly they started taking revenue from Indian people. They don't used to pay the revenue, but they used to collect revenue from Indian people, from Indian farmers, right? Now what they started? They started Diwani rights. What they started? Diwani rights. Now in that they used to collect revenue. Revenue, it means money, right? They used to collect revenue from the farmers for the raw materials, right? So the condition of farmers become poorer and poorer in India. Why? Because the farmers has to pay the revenue. So the places like Bengal, the places like Bihar, places like Orissa, they were in big trouble, as they have to pay the revenue, as the farmers have to pay the tax. Now what happened? That once there was a famine. Famine means drought in Bengal, right? There was no rain, so there was drought in Bengal. So the condition of Bengal was very bad. Now in that what happened? Many people lost their life. Many people lost everything, right? Their property and many things. So at that time the condition of Bengal was very poor and there was no help from the Britishers, right? And in such condition also they have to pay the revenue, so they became bankrupt. Sometimes the farmers used to become bankrupt. Why? They don't have money to pay the revenue. So what they used to do, they used to sold their gold or sell their gold, or they used to sell their property. In this way they used to become poorer and poorer. The people who are in upper class, they become richer and richer, while in the lower class the people became poorer and poorer. So the condition of farmers were worst, right, when Britishers were ruling, when they started Diwani rights. Diwani right means to collect revenue from the farmers, right? Now students, after that they have even started Permanent Settlement Act. Governor General Lord Cornwallis, he has started Permanent Settlement Act. Now in this, what was the condition, what they have to do, right? In Permanent Settlement Act they have to collect revenue against the poor farmers. What? Again in this also they have to permanently, they have to give the revenue, they have to pay the revenue. The poor farmers who used to work, right, the whole day they used to work in the sun, getting tired, right, getting exhausted. After working so much, they earn very little, and that also they have to pay to the British system as a part of revenue. So it was very sad for the farmers of India, right? So what they used to do, they used to work in the hot sun and were exploited. They were exploited by Britishers, right? And pareshan kiya jana, right? And even they became poorer and poorer. So the condition of India, people of India became very poor when Britishers were ruling. It was a bad adverse effect, we can say, when they were ruling. Okay, and now Warren Hastings, right? Warren Hastings was a person who was appointed for the collection of revenue. He used to collect revenue from the farmers, and that is why he was the collector of that particular place, right? So he was the collector of the place, as he used to collect the revenue. Other than that, he was the representative of a court. He was a judge. He was acting as a judge as well. So you can see that all the representatives, all the governor generals were Britishers. Indians were not getting any benefit from the people, from the Britishers. Even they were, the Indian people were exploited, right? Especially poor farmers. When we talk about effect of British rule in India, it's all about, we are going to learn all about farmers, right? Of course they are already poor. Their condition is not good. They used to work in a hot sun and not getting the enough payment. Whatever we are eating, whatever we get with the help of farmers, because of farmers, right? But what they get nothing, right? So that is why the condition of farmer was very poor when they were ruling. Okay students, now the British policy of social reforms made the people feel insecure. Now, as just for example, as I told you that Warren Hastings was acting as a judge as well in the court, right? So in the same way, the Indian people, right, they were having gram panchayats in the village. They were ruling, means they were having self-rule. They were independent. They were having self-rule. But because of Britishers, there was no means that they cannot do the self-rule. They have to depend on the Britishers. They have to listen to the Britishers, right? So this was some disadvantages to the people of India. So even they started social reforms, different social reforms, like they implemented English education, they stopped child marriage, they stopped widow remarriage, and many other reforms they have done. So because of that, the people of India, they were very orthodox, right? They used to believe in all the social reforms. But because the Britishers started their rule, they changed the scenario, right? And that is why the people of India started feeling insecure. They came to know that they are destroying our culture, socially or religiously, whatever. They are destroying our culture. So they started feeling what? Feeling insecure, and they started hating them, right? As they don't want to destroy the culture of India, right? So, in today's session, we have learned all about British rule in India, right? About raw materials, about the, we can say that Diwani rights, permanent settlement rights, and the insecurity in the people of India. Now, in next session, we are going to learn about how they started opposing, how Indian people started opposing, and how they come to know that Britishers are taking advantage of us. That we are going to learn in next session. Okay, so till that, keep learning, stay home, stay safe, bye bye, and take care of yourself.